When I was in my first year medical school, I was pregnant with my daughter, and I developed really bad sciatica down my left leg to the point where I couldn't sit any longer and I could barely stand. I had to lie only on one side. I was at the point where I didn't think I was going to be able to finish school, and I was going to have to drop out for the rest of my pregnancy. One afternoon, this woman came in to give us a demonstration on a unique type of therapy called Bowen therapy. After one treatment, she actually got rid of my sciatica completely. For the rest of my pregnancy, I was able to deliver my baby without any problem, no more pain, and I finished medical school. The way the therapy works is it uses the dynamic relationship between the muscles and the nervous system. By challenging the muscle at the point where the nervous system innervates the muscle, it sends a message to the brain. Without actually giving the brain a specific instruction, for example, we're not telling the muscle to contract or we're not stretching the muscle, but by just challenging the muscle, the message is sent to the brain without direction. So the brain sends back a default message to that muscle. And ultimately what it does is it sets that muscle back into its resting length. So a muscle that's been stretched will contract back into relaxed, and a muscle that's contracted will relax. And oftentimes when you have a muscle that's been contracted, there's a nerve impingement in there as well. By releasing the muscle and relaxing that muscle, it releases the nerve. I typically start with realignment and rebalancing of the spine. Since the spine is really at the core of our body, I find that when we rebalance the spine, often symptoms that start in one area of the body will shift, and you'll find that the pain moves to somewhere else. For example, someone will come in with knee pain, and after realigning the spine and creating balance in the spine again, the pain will shift to the pelvis where the actual problem is. So the pain in the knee was secondary. The actual cause of the pain is in the pelvis. What I'll do is I'll start with the low back, starting with the erector muscles around the spine, going down into the gluteal muscles and down into the leg. And then I'll move my way into the middle and upper back, working my way again down the thoracic vertebrae and the erector muscles that hold the spine in place. From the mid-back to upper back, I then move into the neck. And so by the end of the first treatment, I worked my way up the entire spine. One of the beautiful things about Bowen therapy is it can be used by absolutely anyone. There's no contraindication. So someone that is not allowed to be adjusted by a chiropractor because they have a contraindication with a vertebral fracture or a disc impingement or a ruptured disc, someone that's a very young person, a newborn baby, or someone that's older and a little more fragile, they can absolutely benefit from Bowen therapy. Pregnant women do really well, as I did when I was pregnant. It's used in infant colic all the time with really great success. People that aren't very mobile and they can't be moved into different positions, Bowen therapy is really great for them because it's a very, very gentle type of body work. So I would treat any sort of pain condition with Bowen therapy, anywhere from acute to chronic pain, working all the way up the body from ankle pain, knee pain, frozen shoulder, pelvic pain, sciatica, any digestive disturbance, premenstrual symptoms that has pelvic congestion, lots of cramping in the pelvis. Bowen therapy works wonderfully for people that have asthma attacks. You can even be used during an acute asthma attack. Headaches, scoliosis, frozen shoulder, carpal tunnel syndrome, you name it, any sort of pain condition or anything that's related to muscle or nervous system, that whole dynamic relationship between the musculoskeletal system and the nervous system, Bowen therapy works wonderfully for. The reason why my practice is unique is that I'm a naturopathic physician, so I have the medical training, the knowledge, and the background in the human physiology and anatomy. So when someone comes into my practice, I can assess whether or not Bowen therapy is the right direction to take them, or if they need other therapy as well. I need to assess whether it's purely a physiological situation or if there's something else underlying going on as well. I treat the whole body, so I don't just look at the pain. I take a thorough history, I do a physical exam, I do an orthopedic assessment looking at the way the body moves, the dynamics of the body, the mental emotional component as well. As a naturopathic physician and a Bowen therapist, I feel that I'm in a really fortunate position that I can treat people holistically, being able to work physiologically with them to treat them on a physical level, as well as being able to treat them from a holistic level using my training as a naturopathic doctor.